Hey, everybody. Welcome to your Pisces New Moon Tarotscopes. Nice to see you, Bot. You're the first one here. Well, thank you for joining me. Marlo in the making. Wonderful to see you. Second is the best, indeed. I definitely agree. So welcome to your Pisces New Moon Tarotscopes. We have our New Moon in Pisces. If you're on the West Coast, it's the 19th, which is Sunday. If you're on the East Coast, it's on Monday, the 20th. So we'll talk all about it and talk about how you can make the most of it and why this new moon is so very important. So this new moon in Pisces on Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are in the world, is on the heels of National Mint Chocolate Day. And I don't think that that's a coincidence by any stretch of the imagination. It certainly is not. So we have metaphysical benefits associated with foods, and mint and chocolate definitely have benefits. We're going to talk about those. Hey, Grandma Nay, nice to see you. Yes, but aren't you happy Grandma's here? Grandma's here. So yeah, we have Mint Chocolate Day, and mint chocolate actually has really good benefits. Mint is particularly good for clarity. So if you need to get clear on something, use mint. The problem with mint is if you use too much mint, everybody's going to you for clarity, which there are worse things, but just keep that in mind. Everybody wants to get things more clarified from you if you have the mint energy around you, or that scent of mint. Mint is also good for healing, protection, prosperity, luck, love, dreams, as well as communication, psychic work, and strength. Hey, Steph. Nice to see you. My pleasure. Thank you for joining me. And chocolate, well, chocolate's just great all on its own, right? Irrespective of what it does for you, but it's also good for grounding, friendship, love. Chocolate produces the same chemical reaction in your brain as when you're falling in love. Oh, self-love, fun, nurturing. It also raises your emotional energy. It's good for romance as well as prosperity. So for this new moon that we have, Sunday, Monday, you want to probably use mint chocolate for clarity as well as grounding. And the reason for clarity being so important is that the first step to getting whatever you want is knowing what you want. And a lot of people, well, a lot of us don't know what we want. Maybe we know what we want in relationships, but we don't know what we want professionally, etc. So getting clear on that is really, really helpful. And grounding is really going to be helpful for this new moon too, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why you need to be clear and why you need to be grounded and why mint chocolate is really the way to go. Kill two birds with one stone. Get some yummy in your tummy. Can't beat that. Exactly, Grandma Nay. We love chocolate, especially mint chocolate, this new moon. So, this Pisces new moon. Oh, see, you're already ahead of the game, Bot. You ate chocolate yesterday and cookies and cupcakes. That is fantastic. So, the new moon always is a time of planting seeds for new beginnings. The seeds we plant during the month of Pisces, though, are extra magical. This is because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. We start with Aries, then Taurus, then Gemini, then Cancer, etc., all the way to Pisces. So Pisces, because it's the last sign of the zodiac, is the spine of the zodiac. And as the last sign, as the spine of the zodiac, it holds the whole zodiac together. Without Pisces, the whole zodiac would fall apart, and I wouldn't have a job. And you wouldn't be here looking at your tarotscopes for your new moon. So we need Pisces. It holds the whole zodiac together. Nice to see you, Casmar. Thanks for joining me. And you're going to get your cookies? Oh, good. I'm really glad to hear that. Have some cookies. Maybe they're mint chocolate cookies. That would be cool. So, as the last sign, Pisces also reveals the sum total of all that preceded it. So we might underestimate Pisces, but Pisces has the gusto of Aries. It has the determination of Scorpio. It has the broad-mindedness of Sagittarius. It has all of the energies of the previous signs. So because of this, because Pisces reveals the sum total of all that preceded it, during the month of Pisces, we can take control of the entire year, right? So this new moon is really important for your 2023. Pisces is a really, really great month. It's surrounded by the positive energy of water and protected by the abundance and good fortune of Jupiter, because the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter. The contemporary ruler is Neptune, but Jupiter brings luck and good fortune and abundance. Yes, Kelsey, it's time for some ice cream, some mint chocolate chip ice cream, if you ask me. For sure, for sure. So let's talk about things that Pisces do best. These are just a few things they do best. They do a lot of great things, but they know how to relax. Pisces has tremendous faith that all is going to work out in the end. So they think it's stupid to sort of worry about things, so they can relax. And relaxation is really key to creativity. As soon as you're working and it becomes like not creative and not fun, that's like a warning sign. Like as soon as you get the feeling that you're actually doing work, you might not be tapping into universal consciousness. Surrender. Pisces are really good at surrender. They're really good at letting go and letting God. They know how to relax and let go to a power that's greater than themselves, right? It's the last sign of the zodiac. It is a sign of surrender. Pisces is also really good at love. They might actually be too good at love, right? Every gift is a curse. And when Pisces love, it's with every fiber of their being. They get taken away in their love. It becomes their ocean, right? That's the only thing that they can see. If they love somebody, that's their life. And they don't take half measures. If they love you and they're in love with you, it's not, it's not halfway. They go all in. And like the ocean, they get pulled into those unfathomable depths, right? Also, Pisces is really good at connecting with source and letting go, relaxing, and loving. Pisces is a natural conduit for universal intelligence. This is why a Pisces, without any piano training, for instance, might hear a song and then all of a sudden they can play it by ear on the piano, right? That's also probably why they're really great psychics. They're very, very intuitive. They're very, very caring because they're open, they're relaxed, they're loving, they surrender to a power greater than themselves, and they're able to channel or connect to source. So that's why. They're just so artistic. They're so very talented. But if you were really, really open to universal consciousness, again, it's not that big of a deal. They're just doing what they do. They're relaxing, they're letting go. So we can do these things during our Pisces new moon and Pisces season. So things for us to do during Pisces time, whether or not we're a Pisces or have much Pisces in our charts, we should create. Tap into your imagination, finding inspiration through humor, art, or music. Again, Pisces knows that everything's going to work out in the end. Everything's going to be fine. They have tremendous faith, sometimes too much faith, meaning they're so spiritualized that their earthly lives can sometimes be disordered, right? They're good at painting a picture or singing a song or playing piano by ear, but they might not remember to pay the electric bill or show up on time. Water signs by their nature are usually late. They're usually very late, especially Pisces. So we can create during Pisces time. It's also a good time to practice compassion. Pisces season is a good time to develop empathy and understanding for others, which is going to help us become more caring and kind. So the law of one suggests that we are all one at the end of the day. We have our own individual personalities, of course, but in loving you, I'm loving myself. In being a bastard to you, I'm being a bastard to myself. And criticizing you, I'm really criticizing myself. Pisces gets that. They get that law of one. So compassion for other people is really, we're becoming more compassionate to ourselves, right? So we can practice that during Pisces season. It's a great time to manifest. So During Pisces time, you may want to explore your subconscious, set your intentions for your dreams, and align with the feeling state of fulfillment. So Pisces rules the subconscious, and everything in life that we get, it's by virtue of like attracting like, via law of attraction. But it's not just a matter of attracting what you are, it's what you subconsciously believe you are. So if I want to get into a relationship, but on a subconscious level, I believe I'm unlovable, I'm not going to be able to get in a relationship. If I want to get a job that I really, really love, but I don't believe that I can actually work and prosper while enjoying myself, I'm not going to be able to do that. So your subconscious has to be aligned, right? And then we're talking about the feeling of the state being of the feeling state of being fulfilled, right? Value fulfillment. In order to achieve value fulfillment, your subconscious has to be in with it, right? It has to be aligned with it. So you want to, when you're manifesting, and Pisces is really good at this, you want to allow yourself to embody or imbue the feeling state of having what you would have if you got it, right? So like say, again, with our relationship example, okay, I'm really in a happy relationship. I'm lovable. Okay, what does that feel like? That feels like bliss. That feels like fun. That feels like play. That feels like youth. That feels like high energy. That feels like love, right? So I need to allow myself to focus on that, and I'm maintaining that feeling state, and then I'm broadcasting it, and then I attract love. Or, oh, I'm focusing on loving what I do work-wise and also flourishing financially. So I'm in that feeling state, you're broadcasting it, and it becomes an apparency. You attract it into your life. Oh, you'll be house hunting during this time and have had this feeling that the right house will open up at the right house and will end up in the right place. Yes, what is for you will not pass you by. Keep that in mind. It won't. And Pisces knows that, right? So just stay clear, follow your intuition, feel good. Feel good. Additionally, Pisces is really great for spiritual growth. Pisces time is a good time to connect with a higher power, to explore your spirituality, and to gain a deeper understanding of life's purpose or your purpose. So keep these things in mind during Pisces moon, your Pisces moon. The rub, well, we do have a little bit of a monkey wrench this new moon, Sunday and Monday. The new moon is conjunct Saturn. Wah, wah. So, what does this mean? Well, first, let's talk about a conjunction. A conjunction in astrology occurs when planets are very close together in the sky. Usually, they're in the same sign. In this instance, Saturn's actually at 28 degrees Aquarius, Pisces at 1 degree this new moon. But because it's only a few degrees from each other, they're conjunct, even though they're in different signs. So they're usually conjunctions in the same signs or within orb. My orbs are notoriously tight at 4 degrees, which I like my orbs tight. And the planet's energies merge. So in this instance, the Pisces energy is merging with the Saturn and Aquarius energy. The Pisces moon energy is merging with the Saturn and Aquarius energy, amplifying the themes associated with both planets, i.e., Neptune/Jupiter with Pisces and Saturn. So this new moon, because it's conjunct Saturn, challenges to be expected. So Saturn doesn't trust what comes easy. Comes easy, think of Capricorns, right? Capricorns work very, very hard. If you get a free ride, a Capricorn is not going to really respect you. They're going to probably judge you, and they're going to probably think that, you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, or, this isn't fair. They believe in things that take time and work. Saturn, because it's the ruler of Capricorn, is really similar. It trusts what changes you and helps you to grow. So if you're not going through it, if you're not being challenged, if you're not growing up, Saturn doesn't really care. Saturn wants tangible results. It wants to see progress. It wants to see growth. So moon conjunct Saturn, well, this is a little bit tricky, right? This moon conjunct Saturn, it adds seriousness to the emotions, and it may reflect challenging situations that may feel worse than they actually are. So over the next 2 weeks, especially Sunday and Monday, if you're looking at something and you're like, oh my God, this is awful, It ain't that bad. It's Saturn that's putting the doom and gloom in front of you, and it's not true. What's good about the moon conjunct Saturn is that it may catalyze emotional investment in working hard and making steady progress toward your goals, which is really what Saturn wants you to do. So just a little bit about Pisces versus Saturn, because these energies are so opposite. Pisces says yes, and Saturn says no. Saturn loves to say no. Pisces might be like heaven, and Saturn is hell. Or as one of my astrology teachers used to say, Saturn doesn't kill you, it makes you wish you were dead. It's Pluto that kills you. But Saturn can be tough, right? It can make you feel like, oh my God, am I ever going to get this done? This is like pulling teeth, obstacle in front of obstacle. Pisces says, if you believe, and Saturn says, if you behave. Saturn doesn't care whether or not you believe, right? Saturn says, are you going to do the right thing? Are you going to show up? Are you going to get your work done? And are you going to make something happen? Pisces, the energy is very slippery, right? And Saturn is rocky. Pisces says, oh my God, he's so cute. Saturn says, well, what's his future realistically look like? Is this somebody that you can depend on? Is it going to help you increase your wealth and your stability? So Pisces is a softie, and Saturn is hard ass, right? Pisces wants to experience and understand the mysteries, and Saturn wants social responsibility and order. Pisces just wants to dream, right? They want to dream of mountains made of cream and chocolate cake and handsome heroes, bold and brave, searching for princesses to save. And Saturn says, welcome to reality. Nobody's going to save you. And those mountains aren't made of cream and chocolate cake. So, how do we deal with this, right? How do we balance this? Well, Pisces moon will be at 1 degrees, 21 seconds. And Saturn in Aquarius is going to be at 28 degrees and 10 seconds. All right? We're not going to let Saturn rule the party. I have a formula for you. Don't you worry. So the balance or the average, if you bring Pisces moon, the midpoint, between the Pisces moon at 1 degree, 21 seconds and the Saturn Aquarius at 28 degrees, 10 seconds, the midpoint of that is Aquarius, 29 degrees, 45 seconds. So that's really one thing that you can do to make this work, to bring these energies in balance, literally finding the balance of them. 29 degrees Aquarius at 45 seconds. So the Sabian symbol for 29 degrees Aquarius is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. So what are Sabian symbols? Well, Sabian symbols are mysterious images that describe each of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. They were channeled. They provide a deep and subtle understanding of life's lessons and the necessary material for self-revelation. So some Sabian symbols are really completely strange and useless. They were channeled, but you sometimes wonder, like, was the medium in a bad mood or was she having a bad day? Like one Sabian symbol is automobile being hit by a train at a crossroads. Like, how is that helpful? That image, right? Or petrified tree trunks lie broken on desert sand. Like it's really hard to find some positivity in some of these, but if you dig deep, they are rich with symbolism and they tell a story. So the Sabian symbol, though, for your 29 degree Aquarius is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. So what does that mean exactly? Well, let's just do a little bit of science lesson in terms of what happens. the caterpillar, how does a caterpillar turn into a butterfly? Well, the caterpillar stops eating. It hangs upside down from a twig or a leaf and spins itself into a silky cocoon or molts into a shiny chrysalis. Within its protective casing, the caterpillar radically, keyword radically, Aquarius, radical, transforms its body, eventually emerging as a butterfly or a moth. So it starts with this. This is that silky cocoon, right? And then it makes its way out of it, further out of it. And then it is free. It is the butterfly. Isn't that nice? Yes. So, what is the symbolism? Well, there's a lot of symbolism here with a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. A core theme with this image is to wiggle free, right? The effort required to emerge from a confined, tight casing cover, skin, wrap, etc. So we need to break out of our confines and move into freedom, right? That's what this 29 degrees Aquarius Sabian symbol is alluding to. You could also say that a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis is really, symbolically for us, the capacity to transform the character of one's consciousness by radically altering the structural patterns of everyday living and the types of relationships one enters upon. So that's what the caterpillar turning into a butterfly does. He's radically altering the structural patterns of their life and all of their relationships. Their relationships are greatly going to change now that it's a butterfly, not a caterpillar. So, where 1 degree of Pisces is in your chart is where there's a new beginning this weekend. It's an opportunity for you to plant new seeds that you want to grow. Wherever 28 degrees of Aquarius falls in your chart is where Saturn is, and that is where you may be challenged. You may need to be disciplined, practical, and strategic in that life area for success with your new moon goals. So I use the Placidus system. Okay, so what that means is that it's much more exact than whole houses, right? But because we're doing general horoscopes or tarotscopes for everybody, we have to use the whole sign system. So it's more than likely that your 1 degrees Pisces is in the same sign as 28 degrees Aquarius, right? Likely. But with the whole house system, it's not, right? You have, I guess you could have both in the same sign, but in any case, you have that 28 degrees Aquarius in the sign before Pisces. So in the house before Pisces. So essentially what we're going to do is talk about what you need to fix with Saturn before you get to your new moon goals, right? But check to see where 28 degrees Aquarius is and 1 degrees of Pisces is, because that's going to give you some insight. So in a nutshell, again, the first degree of Pisces, wherever that falls in your chart, that's where you have a new beginning. And wherever you have 28 degrees of Aquarius is what you have to be disciplined to break out of for you to achieve. So that's your radically altering the structural patterns of your life, breaking free, wiggling free, doing the work. And it takes work. It takes discipline, right? So to appease Saturn this new moon, or for the rest of your life, because Saturn's not going anywhere, what do? We practice self-discipline. We're reliable. We don't say we're going to do something and not do it. Like that really will upset Saturn and anybody who has strong Saturn in their chart, actually. Striving for excellence, focusing on self-improvement. You know, one Saturn thing is you got to make sure your house is clean before you start poking around at other people's, right? Creating definition. Saturn wants to know, okay, what is this? What use does this serve? How is this practical? How is this making a contribution to society? How is this you being responsible for humankind? And tangible results. It's like, oh, well, that's great that you got an A+ on this paper, but, you know, let's take a wait and see approach, because you might still get a C on your report card. It's cumulative, right? You got to continue doing well right? It wants tangible results. It's like, oh, it's great that you've been working hard, but how much money are you making? Is this a career path? Are you going to be able to move up? Saturn wants, again, achievement, right? I hope you don't get pulled over either. Safety first, Grandma Nay. Safety first. Keep your eyes on the road. Saturn would want you to do that. Practice Saturn while you're driving and listening to this. So essentially, what does Saturn want you to do? Pull it together and deliver. No excuses. Pulling it together and deliver. So that's what we need to do this Pisces new moon. And remember, it's not always going to be easy. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final and failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. So Saturn, it's a matter of you fall down 6 times, you get up 7. You just keep going. And it's not going to always be easy, but even if you do 1% more or 1% better every day, you will be achieving progress. So it's progress, not perfection, that we're looking for this new moon. Oh, pulled over. Oh, with cookies in your car. Ah, I see. Yeah, you might want to be careful with those. Although, what are they going to do? Eat your cookies? So essentially, in order to deal with Saturn and this new moon, let's focus on our mint chocolate, bringing us clarity in terms of, okay, well, this is what I'm doing in this job for this effect. This is my end goal. I'm going into this relationship. Why? Well, do you want casual sex? Do you want to buy a house with this guy? Like, what is the plan, man? That's what Saturn wants to know. What is your end goal? You need to get clear, because otherwise you could be following protocol or what you think you should do when really you need to know exactly what you want, right? First step to getting it. And then chocolate's important because you got to get grounded. You got to, focus on making those changes and being really particular about making things real. That's a big theme with Saturn. Make it real, which we're going to talk about today. And in order to make something real, you have to be grounded. You have to be like, okay, well, I'm doing this. I'm in the present moment. I'm focusing on this task. I'm working on this task. This task is getting completed. This task is complete. What's next? So Aries, let's talk about you, Aries. What's going on for you this new moon? Well, you have a new beginning or an opportunity for a new beginning in your 12th house. So the 12th house rules the subconscious. So Aries, this is an opportunity this weekend for you to release old karma, to end something. That's what the 12th house rules, endings. And it's time to really start fresh. So this is a big deal, right? I would also say it's a new opportunity for you to implant or instill or impress upon your subconscious what you want to be true. So remember, everything that happens in reality, it happens in the psyche first. And that's what the 12th house is. So you have a new beginning in your subconscious, but you can make it real by organizing your social circle and creating an action plan for your dreams and goals. So Saturn is in your 11th house. And sometimes, in order to impress the subconscious, you actually have to do things, right? It's not just a matter of meditating, right? When your subconscious sees you acting in the way that you should be acting, it registers that and it's, oh, I'm a different person, right? So you need to really focus on your friends, right? Your tribe, and get that organized, right? Make sure that you have the right people around you, and also get really clear on your hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. What do you want to achieve? Remember, there are no dangling carrots in the universe. So you wanting something, that comes in with it, the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. So the big thing is to think about your dreams and goals, and then think strategy, because Saturn's in your 11th house. So let's see, Aries, what tarot wisdom you get for this new moon that's going to help you along your path. Insight for Aries. Insight for Aries. Insight for Aries. Two of Swords. Okay, so this makes sense. So you want a Two of Swords the situation. Two of Swords is making decisions without the interference of the emotions, right? So for instance, say you have this meeting, a really, really, really important meeting, and you're rushing and you spill coffee all over your shirt, and en route to the meeting, you get a flat tire, and then boom, you have to give a presentation. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you spilled coffee on your shirt. Nobody cares that you got a flat tire. Nobody gives a damn. Neither should you. You need to, irrespective of what you went through, you've got to block your emotions and give your presentation. It's as simple as that. So with Two of Swords, you're not going to want to feel like doing the things that you need to do. Doesn't matter. That feelings are absolutely irrelevant. So you need to make decisions without the interference of the emotions, especially when it comes to your friends, your tribe. For instance, you might find that the group of people that you're around, well, they're undermining your success, or they're not supportive to your goals, or, for whatever reason, they're not helping you. Or it might be a matter of you need more friends around you. You need a tribe, but a part of you is like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. I feel weird putting myself out there. Nobody cares. You got to do it. You got to take responsibility with that 11th house. Likewise, you might be like, oh, well, I don't know if this dream is going to come true. I have this. Doesn't matter. You got to come up with that strategy anyway. So Two of Swords, the situation Aries, make decisions without the interference of the emotion. Facts don't care about your feelings. No offense, but it's Saturn. We got to be a little bit tough. Taurus, what's up for you, Taurus? Well, this new moon, you got a new beginning, or an opportunity for a new beginning in your 11th house, which is very, very fun. You're very lucky, Taurus. This is a very nice little new moon for you. So it's an opportunity to achieve your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. And also to connect with humanity through your friends or your tribe. So it really is a new beginning for you in terms of maybe there's a new dream that you have, or an opportunity to achieve that dream. And also you might decide that you want to do something new with your friends, maybe find some new friends, maybe find a new community, the people that get you, your people, your tribe. But if you want to make it real, you got to focus on the career. You got to focus on the reputation, your reputation that you're building for yourself. Saturn is in your 10th house. And Saturn is saying you need to define your career. What are we doing here? Where are you at now? Where do you want to be? How are you going to get there? It also is a matter of reputation. You've got to protect your reputation, right? With the 10th house. So you got to determine, like, okay, is what I'm doing adding to the reputation I want to build for myself? So for you, it's really all a matter of once you get your career stabilized and you know what you're doing and you got a plan in mind, that's going to help you find the right people, right? So the structure that you create in your career is going to help you to find your tribe. And of course, it's also going to help you achieve your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. So that should be fun. Let's see, Taurus, what wisdom from the tarot is going to help you with your new moon in Pisces. Taurus, wisdom for your new moon, 11th, 10th. Taurus, Taurus. Five of Swords. So there are times in which you're going to have a certain level of self-interest, right? There might be people, places, or things, that are undermining your efforts. So the Five of Swords is really like, you've got to protect yourself. This card would encourage self-preservation. It's about self-interest. So you need to really not be swayed by what other people might say or what other people might do. You need to have your own best interest at heart. I think with the 10th house, this is especially true with Saturn. You got to focus on, what you want to build for yourself professionally. And you do have to, with Five of Swords, you got to protect yourself and watch your back, essentially. Otherwise, with the Five of Swords, you mustn't fear defeat. You can't fear things not going the way you want them to go. You have to expect success, right? Expect a transition, expect success. As a Taurus, you're probably very, very grounded, and as a result, probably somewhat inflexible. So don't fear defeat. And when it comes to people that give you advice, listen to yourself, right? Or somebody who doesn't have a stake in the matter, right? Somebody who can give you that objectivity. Advice from friends in a lot of respects, it's going to be very self-seeking. It's very, unless the, friend is really completely altruistic, which is very possible. I've given advice to friends that were in my best interest. So there are some people that can do that. But all in all, you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself. You got to look out for number one these next 2 weeks. Nobody's going to be like, oh, well, what about your career? Or what about your hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals? Nobody's really concerned about that, right? You got to be concerned. So just keep that in mind. Gemini. Well, Gemini, this is a career transit for you. You got your new moon in Pisces hitting your 10th. It's all about status, reputation, and honors. So this is an opportunity, this new moon, for you to advance professionally, to achieve happiness and success in your professional life. But in order to make your plans real professionally, you got to broaden your horizons. You got to think outside the box. You got to get out there, experience more of the world. So this might mean going on a trip. It might mean taking a class, especially if it's about your career. Maybe to go to the next level professionally, you need to get a degree. Or you need to at least take a class and get some kind of certification. Or maybe you just need to open up your mind more and discover your philosophy in life. In any case, your professional success this new moon rests on you broadening your horizons, thinking in a bigger, more expansive way. Travel at one point was considered to be an education, right? You go to these different places, you learn about these different cultures, you grow in your tolerance. So you got to take seriously the whole idea of mind expansion. Maybe you need to go on a trip, or maybe you need to take a class. But that is what is going to help you succeed professionally. Maybe it's a matter of you just need to get more worldly and get out there more and find out what's up. So you have that experience, 9th house, that's going to help you move forward in your career, 10th house. So let's see what's up for you, Gemini, what wisdom you get for your new moon in Pisces in the 10th. Gemini, wisdom for Gemini this new moon. Wisdom that will be helpful for Gemini this new moon. Okay. Well, you got 8 of Swords. This isn't bad, actually. Crowley would call this Jupiter in Gemini. Actually, it's actually ruled by Gemini. So it's not as bad as it looks, Gemini. It really isn't. So the rope that is keeping this woman captive is actually tied in the back where her hands are. So she could untie herself at any time at all. But that would mean change. That would mean taking responsibility, right? That would mean moving forward. So essentially, this card is about painting yourself in a corner and not looking at your options. It's almost like when a negative thought takes hold, it multiplies via law of attraction. It's like, oh, great, what else can go wrong? Never want to say that, right? So with this card, essentially, you got to get out of your own way, and you got to make sure that you're the one that's clipping the rope that's tying you up, right? And doing whatever it is that you can to be sort of like, okay, this isn't as bad. You always have the power to see things differently. Gemini is a very, very, very intelligent sign, and every gift is a curse. So don't use your mind to paint yourself in a corner. Realize that there are ways to see things differently, and there's always a solution to a problem. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a problem. So don't let your mind get ahead of you, and don't worry. Do what you can to not worry, because that's what this is about as well. So keep that in mind, Gemini. Oh, you're home and you can chat? Oh, well, that's really good. That makes me feel better. I'm glad you're home safe and sound, Grandma Nay. I don't need you getting pulled over listening to Tarotscopes with marijuana cookies in the car. That would be bad. Very bad. So Cancer, what's going on, Cancer? You got your new moon in the 9th house, which is cool. It's a fairly easy transit, 9th house new moon. So this is an opportunity for you to expand your horizons via learning, travel, publishing. You might want to publish something or broadcast something. This might be the new moon for you to make your launch. The ninth house is really about taking a leap. So Cancer, you want to go out on a limb. Be bold. But in order to really expand your horizons, expand your mind, to publish or broadcast, well, you got Saturn in your eighth. So you got to let something go. So the eighth house is the house that is ruled by Scorpio. It's very scorpionic. It's the house of death. It's the house of rebirth. It's the house of intimacy. And also is about your joint resources with other people, right? And at the end of the day, the eighth house is about boundaries. Sharing and boundaries. So sex, for instance, is an eighth house thing. Obviously, you're dissolving boundaries when you have sex. If you wind up going into an enterprise with somebody and you have a joint enterprise, you're combining your resources. Maybe you're putting your funds together, your contacts together, and then you're creating something bigger. So with Saturn in your eighth, you've got to get really clear on what you're sharing and what you're not. Where do you say no and where are you saying yes? Where do you need to put up a boundary and say, yeah, this is not happening, hard stop. And then where are you going to be more loose and be like dissolving that boundary and inviting people in, right? So it is a matter of, with Saturn in the eighth, you've got to be really disciplined when it comes to what you're letting go of, right? Are you letting go? And in any case, like whatever you do eighth house wise, there's some kind of letting go. Like with sex, for instance, you have to let go of your boundaries, right? When it comes to a joint enterprise, you have to let go of it just being your money. You're bringing it with other people. So there's always a letting go. Saturn needs to have you to let go in some capacity. Are you letting go of control? Are you letting go of a relationship? Are you letting go of a job? Are you letting go of being a hard ass? What might it be, right? Oh, is this you, Grandma Nay? You better grab a cookie. So you'll be all set. It's a matter of just finding out where you're saying no, where are your lines, and where are you dissolving your lines. So let's see. What wisdom do we have for Cancer this new moon in Pisces? Wisdom for Cancer. Let's see. Expand your horizons. Ooh, the sun. So this is really nice. The sun card is really one of the most positive, if not the most positive card in the deck. It's certainly the highest energy card. So I would say with the sun card, it's a matter of don't look at it as a death that you're going through. Look at it as a bright new beginning, right? And really, in card spread, the sun card actually might be a death, metaphorically or literally, more so than the actual death card in the tarot, right? So the sun is about a blazing bright light. And for you, it's really about allowing yourself to follow the light, achieve more knowledge. Like, what is it that you need to see? This card would encourage a brand new beginning. You might want to take a vacation, right? Because this ninth house transit, I mean, it does have to do with travel. So you may want to illuminate your life. That could be with the sun card. It could be going on a trip to a nice warm place. It also could be starting a new field of study that gives you knowledge, that puts you in the light. But you need to be in the know. So don't hide from new knowledge, new experiences, and allow yourself to also not see things that are ending as an ending, but it actually is a new beginning. So just keep that in mind. Makes sense, Grandma Nay? I hope so. Leo, we're going to give you some chocolate cake, some dark chocolate cake, mint chocolate cake, of course, because you're going through quite a transit with this new moon in the eighth, for sure. So the eighth house is, again, it's the house of death. It's the house of rebirth. So something most likely is gonna go bye-bye, and that's gonna be your new beginning. You really can't go through an eighth house transit, I don't think, without letting something go, even if it's something that you hate, right? So like moving from a dungeon to a palace, you still have to mourn the dungeon. Maybe you started getting used to the dungeon, right? Even though you're happy you're moving into a palace. So this is an opportunity, Leo, for empowerment via transformation and setting or dissolving boundaries. That is your new beginning. Your new beginning is essentially a yes to something or a no to something. That is your new beginning. And it could take place in any area of your life, but it could be a big deal. This could be an end of a job, a beginning of a new job. It could be end of a relationship. It could be the start of a new relationship. It could be a new joint enterprise. It could be dissolving a partnership that you have, an enterprise that you have, right? But in order to make this new beginning for you real, you got to focus on your relationships, and you got to determine where you need to be responsible. Where do you need to step up in your personal and professional partnerships? Because Saturn in Aquarius is in your 7th house of relationships. So Saturn is like, you've got to step up in your partnerships. This might mean, Saturn is Captain Real. So like looking at your relationship and being like, is this stupid? Is this completely impractical? Is this relationship making me more sad or happy on a regular basis? And if it's sad, well, it's stupid to stay in it, right? So Saturn wants you to get real, right? Or it could be a matter of maybe you've been ignoring your honey. You've been working so hard. You've been into your hobbies and having fun, maybe spending time with your friends, and your honey is feeling lonely. This might mean that you need to make sure that you're taking responsibility for the relationship, that you're saying, okay, all right, we got to go on a date, or let's go on a vacation. Even in your business partnerships, you might have to step up in that capacity. In any case, somehow you need to be responsible in terms of your relationships. That doesn't necessarily mean going further in, but if you want to stay in your relationship and you like it, you got to step up to the plate. And that's going to help you transform, right? And go to that next level with that 8th house new moon. So let's see, Leo, what card you get for some tarot wisdom for your new moon in Pisces. Let's see. For Leo, tarot wisdom for Leo, tarot wisdom for Leo. Oh, yikes. Okay. Well, you get 10 of Swords. Now, this isn't as bad as it seems. Hear me out. The 10 of Swords is a problem that cannot get any worse. So you've reached the bottom of the elevator here in some capacity. Something is dead. As a doornail, right? Dead. Got to let it go. So there might be something in your life that is just, it's ridiculous to keep going with it. This could even be a thought pattern, right? Maybe you're thinking so much about one thing, and that's what Swords are. It's the card of the intellect. Maybe you're thinking so much about something that it's like, it's overkill, right? I mean, with this card, it is a little bit dramatic, right? I mean, does he really need 10 swords in his back? 10? Like one would have done it, right? So it's a matter of don't beat a dead horse, right? Don't think about the things that, don't overthink about things, right, that are just driving you crazy. If you have this reoccurring thought pattern or you're obsessing about something, that could be 10 of Swords. Otherwise, it could be a relationship that is really awful, or a job that is just excruciatingly difficult and problematic for you. Whatever it is, let it go. Let it go, and that's going to help you with your 8th house transit. Let's see. Virgo. Well, Virgo, you have a new moon hitting your 7th. A very lovey-dovey transit. So 7th house is about your partnerships, your relationships. This is an opportunity for new beginnings in your personal and professional relationships. That could be really cool. Oh, Bot, this is you? Oh, boy. Okay. Well, buckle up, Bot. So you got a new beginning in your 7th house of relationships, but you got to make it real by getting more practical and disciplined in 6th house matters, which has to do with work, health, habits, and routine. So this might mean you need to get your work in order. This might mean you need to schedule your doctor's appointments. This might mean you need to quit some habits that are stupid, that aren't practical, that are a waste of time. Or maybe it's a matter of just streamlining your routine so you have more time for your relationships. So essentially, this is saying you got to get your day-to-day lifestyle in order to have that new beginning in your relationships. Maybe it's a matter of you need to organize things. Maybe you want, with this new moon in the 7th house, you want a relationship, But when you look at it and you look at your schedule, everything's packed. Every single moment of every single day is accounted for. Well, where's there room for a relationship, right? So if you want a new beginning in your relationships, you got to make time for it, right? You also need to make sure that your work is in order, right? You got to make sure that that's important. Remember, the sixth house does come before the seventh. So you got to make sure your health is in order, your work is in order, that you're organized before you can actively engage in that seventh house relationship. It also might be a matter of making sure that your health is really good, that you're all tuned up, and you feel really good physically. Because how are you going to give in a relationship if you're not taken care of, if your body is not feeling good? So get yourself organized, focus on work. Maybe it's a new job. I think it's really hard to focus on your relationship when your work life is in disarray, right? So get all of those earthy things taken care of, and that's going to help your new beginning in your relationships. So let's see, Virgo, what some wisdom from the tarot you get today for your new moon in the seventh. So wisdom for Virgo that might help you, Virgo. Four of Wands. So, and this is the feeling of relief, right? This is a wonderful card. This is completed work. It's Lord of perfected work. So it's four, right? So it's stable and people are celebrating. So there's some passion, right? Wands have to do with passion that have been concretized, right? There's been something that's been passionate, something that's passionate that you're tasked with making it stabilized. So this is really all about looking at what you have accomplished, even though it might not be completely done. Like with the Four of Wands, the big advice is to celebrate your victories en route to your goals. There might be small victories, and you need to do that, right? You need to complete something and feel good about it, and then go to the next level. Otherwise, even though this is a very happy card, this does have to do with completion. So there could be something in your relationships you need to complete, right? Maybe it's a matter of you're completing up a cycle and then you're going on vacation, because this could be a vacation or a celebration card, right? But the big thing is that you need to sort of determine that you've completed a cycle. Maybe the cycle before is like, okay, well, I'm not going to approach my job in this way, or a new cycle is emerging in which you're taking really good care of your health, you're starting to exercise, whatever it might be. But this is suggesting that you complete something, right? And that you give yourself that feeling of relief, right? Allowing yourself to tap into that energy of party time, celebration. Relief is the big thing. So if you can practice that vibration of like, okay, well, say you have a problem, right? Well, a good thing to ask yourself is what you would do next if you didn't have that problem, because then you're jumping the timeline, right? So think about what it is that would make you feel relieved, and then practice that feeling of relief. It might be a matter, especially if you're a Virgo, that you're addicted to worrying, right? You're addicted to that. So maybe practice the vibration of relief. Now that's done, right? And that will help. So happy new moon. Oh, you need to quit smoking and exercise. Okay, very apropos then. Maybe that's where your completion is. No more cigarettes and more time exercising. Nice sunshine. All right, Libra. So you Libras have this new moon in your sixth house, which has to do with work, health, your lifestyle, your habits. So this is great. You could get a new job during this transit. Maybe you'll plant seeds for that. Maybe you'll get a new job, or maybe you'll make changes or adjustments to the job that you're in. Maybe you'll start a new diet, new routine. That's a huge game changer. Maybe you'll also incorporate more fun in your day-to-day life. That's a sixth house thing too, right? Like, how can you make every day joyful? And how can you get your life running like a well-oiled machine? The sixth house, you want your life to go well and smoothly. And that means that you have to be organized, you have to be efficient, right? But for you, this new moon, you're really lucky, because Saturn wants you to be committed when it comes to play, because you get Saturn in your fifth house. So you're going to make your new beginning for yourself in terms of your lifestyle real by being disciplined when it comes to self-expression, your hobbies, your fun, whatever you're creating, even your children, because the fifth house does have to do with children, and also has to do with romance. So essentially what this is saying is that in order for you to have a new beginning in terms of your lifestyle, you've got to have some fun in that lifestyle. So for instance, say you're like, okay, this is it. I must start exercising at this point. I must, right? Well, with the fifth house, you got to make sure that it's fun. Don't do something that you hate, or you're not going to stick with it. How can you make exercising fun? Or maybe it's a matter of you want to make changes in terms of your job, right? And you want a new job. Well, you've got to be disciplined in terms of what is it that you can do to make your work more enjoyable or more fun. Also, I think that it's a matter of all work and no play make Jack a dull boy, right? But also energetically, it makes things off balance. So part of your new daily regime, your new lifestyle, you've got to enjoy yourself. You've got to have fun. You've got to enjoy romance and play and pleasure and creativity. And also you got to be responsible with your children if you have any, making sure you're spending time with them. I think that, sometimes when parents have teenagers, it's like this constant struggle, and the relationships can be somewhat contentious, right? Because teenagers are monsters at that age, right? I certainly was. So it's a matter of doing what you can to be responsible for your kids too, if you have any. But most important, it's about being responsible for your play and making sure that you're having fun in your day-to-day life, right? Making sure that whatever you wind up doing, make it joyful. So let's see, Libra, what you get for your new moon in Pisces wisdom. Some wisdom for Libra. Ooh, makes perfect sense. So the Temperance card, this is a mixture of tolerance, patience, and temperament. Tolerance, patience, and temperament is temperance. So this really is about finding the right combination of things to make you well or happy, which makes perfect sense with your sixth house new moon and your fifth house Saturn. It's like knowing yourself is really key, right? What do you need in your life on a regular basis that's going to make you happy, that's going to give you that sense of eager enthusiasm? You always should have something that you're looking forward to, right? So if you can implement more play in your day-to-day life, or even once a week or whatever, you're looking forward to that, right? So this is also about maintaining your flow of feelings no matter what it is that you're feeling. So whether you're happy, angry, sad, mad, glad, whatever, you got to keep that flow, right? This card is ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarians are known to be somewhat frank, somewhat blunt. They might at times lack diplomacy because they're flowing with their energy. They're not going to keep it in. So it's a matter of keeping that flow of energy no matter what you're feeling. As a Libra, you might find yourself when Libras get mad, they leave nothing unsaid. That's because they acquiesce or they placate and they sort of deal. They deal and they deal and they deal and they deal. And then one time that cherry on the hot fudge sundae, and they lose it. They explode. And when they get mad, they leave nothing unsaid. So with the Temperance card, the advice also might be, flow with your feelings. If something is bothering you, don't wait till it builds up and then you go psycho, right? Let it flow and find those things that will make you happy. You have trouble with play? Oh, well, you're going to have to figure that out. Make it priority. Make it priority. So Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, I'm really happy to let you know that you have a new moon in your fifth house of romance and joy and self-expression and children. If you have any, or you want to have any, you could plant some seeds for baby. That could be nice. So this is a wonderful new moon transit. It's all about you enjoying yourself, right? And doing those things that you really, really love. But in order to do that, you got to make it real, this new opportunity for play, by tending to your domestic matters. More emotional security. You got to feel at home within the self. And you may need to deal with familial relations. So, on a basic level, this could be you needing to take care of things on the home front, and then you go out and play, right? It might be a matter of you get to, take responsibility for a family member, or you need to make sure that you have say you're doing some remodeling or redecorating on your home. You got to make sure that's all squared away, and then you get to go on vacation. It also could be a matter of, remember, the fourth house where Saturn is comes before the fifth. So in order for you to play and have fun, fifth house, what do you need before that? You need to feel emotionally secure. You need to feel loved and nurtured and cared for. And then you feel comfortable expressing yourself, right? The fifth house is just like letting it all hang out, letting yourself have fun, being authentic. But in order to do that, you have to have a level of emotional security. So be disciplined when it comes to really caring for yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. And then when it comes to family members, don't give from an empty well. Like, you've got to have your cup overrunneth, right? And then you're able to give to people without it killing you, right? So be sure to do whatever it is that you can to get emotionally secure, so your cup overrunneth, and then you can very easily take care of family members. But think about yourself first, right? Put your oxygen mask on first. So let's see, Scorpio, what wisdom you get for this new moon in Pisces. Ooh. So you got the Judgment card. It's a very Plutonian card. So the Judgment card talks about the taking of a definite step. This card is like, the past is gone, I am doing this. So like, for instance, say you were, we're talking about a fifth house new moon transit. This is you being like, okay, I'm ready to get back out there in terms of dating. I'm putting myself online, or I'm going on this date, or I'm telling my friends I'm ready for a relationship. If it's a new beginning in terms of your fifth house. Or maybe it's a matter with the fifth house. It's like you're taking that step by, you're enrolling in a class. You're going to do it. You're absolutely going to do it. You're going to enroll in that class. It's going to be a lot of fun, whatever it might be. Or maybe it's a matter of you're making that decision. You're going to totally have a child now. You're going to have a child. You're getting things set up. You're going to get everything taken care of. So you're going to make a great parent. Maybe that's it. But you're taking a definite step, right? The Judgment card is all about being very judicious and making really good value-oriented decisions that are based upon your values, right? Because that's what all happiness is. It's value fulfillment, but you got to determine your values. When it comes to decision-making, Scorpio, the Judgment card, the more carefully you weigh the decision, the better the outcome. So take your time, right? And just really, really think things through with the Judgment card. But this is also a really good card, actually. This is about, we're talking about love. This is the card of, where have you been my whole life? Right? Or if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked you a cake. So if you're putting yourself out there in terms of romance, you might hear that trumpet. You might hear the angels. You might hear a symphony, right? Like Diana Ross. So be in the lookout for that, Scorpio, and have a wonderful new moon. Sagittarius. So Sag, this new moon is taking place in your fourth house. Your fourth house of home, family, and emotional security. So it's really about inner peace, right? Because that's what our home and that's what our family is supposed to do. It's supposed to make us feel emotionally secure. So then we can go out in the world and make a contribution to the world, which is the opposite of the fourth house, the 10th, right? So for you, this is a new opportunity for you in your domestic life. You might decide that you want to get a new home. You might decide that you want to redecorate. You might decide that you want to change things up for you home-wise. You also might want to decide to start a family, right? Or maybe it's a matter of you wanting to start fresh with family members. And you want to kiss away hostilities, to kiss and make up. Or be like, geez, I feel bad. I'm never in touch with my cousin or my brother or whatever. And maybe it's a matter of a new beginning there and saying, this is at the end of the day, it's going to make me feel emotionally secure. So that's what this is all about for you, Sagittarius. You're such a fiery, confident sign that you sometimes might underplay the need for emotional security, the need for you to feel at home within the self, the need to feel unconditionally loved, irrespective of what you wind up doing, right? So it's all about that like unconditional love vibe. And a nice new beginning with family as well. What's key for you is to make it real, this new beginning for emotional security. You're going to make it real with the right mindset and the right communications, being disciplined in terms of your mindset and in terms of communication. So, like, say you want to reconnect with a sibling, but you have in your head, oh, he's an idiot. He's just a moron, idiot. That's not going to help you to connect, right? Because what we look for, we find. So if you think that a family member is an idiot and you want to connect with them, well, that's not going to help your cause, because you're going to solicit the idiocy from them. Like whatever it is that you're expecting, you're going to solicit, right? You're looking for it, you're expecting it, you're going to solicit it. So you got to get the right mindset. Say you want to start create a new home and you want to get a new home. Well, you mustn't look at like, oh, the housing is so expensive and it's so difficult. There's no way I'm going to get a new home. You don't want to do that. That's not going to help your cause. So mind your mindset. Also, with the third house, you're going to be responsible in your communications. So you might want to practice diplomacy a little bit better in terms of what is it that you need to, how do you need to talk to family members that's actually going to get you to where you want to be, right? So think about your communication with family members. Think about, especially your communications with yourself. Are you your own cheerleader? Are you pumping yourself up? Are you saying, yeah, you can do it? Are you saying terrible things to yourself, right? So you're going to be responsible in terms of your mindset and how you talk to other people, especially family members, and especially anything pertaining to the home. So let's see, Sagittarius, what wisdom from the tarot you get today for your new moon in Pisces. Sagittarius. Well, you got your card. Nice. So this card came up before. Temperance, tolerance, patience, and temperament, right? So it's about tempering things in a lot of respects. There might be something that you might be doing too much of or too little of, and what you need to do is you need to temper it. But again, this is about finding the right combination of things to make you well or happy. So what is going to be in your lifestyle on a regular basis that's going to give you that sense of emotional security, that sense of being unconditionally loved and supported, right? You need to feel that level of support. And really with the Temperance card too, when we're talking about Saturn in your house of communications, this doesn't mean like letting stuff slide. Like if something is upsetting you, it's not a matter of just like glossing over it. It's a balance, right? And that's what this card is saying. It's a matter of like, being diplomatic when you have to, call somebody on something, right? And being very, being to the point and being direct, but, also saying what you're saying with love. Like you can really say anything to anybody if your intention is to say it with love, right? So you can always flow love to somebody and then tell them like, don't do this again, right? Whatever you're going to do. But be direct, but what is it they say? Tell the truth, but tell it slant. And find out what those things are that are going to make you feel emotionally secure and really yummy. Capricorn, we get some mint chocolate chip cookies for you, Capricorn. I got to say, I'm a little jealous because those look really, really good. Those look really good. And you, Capricorn, have your new moon in the third house of communications. So this is an opportunity for a new beginning pertaining to your mindset, how you talk to other people, your social life, learning. You might decide to learn something. You might want to take a class. And it's also your mindset, like how you think, right? But you got to make this real, this new beginning in terms of communications, by defining your values, like determining what you really care about, and getting your finances in order. I mean, as a Capricorn, that is, a priority for you, right? Making sure that you have your finances in order. Capricorns tend to care about two things more than other things, and that is time and money. So making sure that your finances are in order so you can allow yourself to learn something new or to socialize or to have fun. And also for your mindset, if your finances are not in order and you're a Capricorn, you're going to be obsessive. And that is like going to take up way too much space in your brain, right? And you never want to worry about money. As soon as we worry about money, it stops. The flow of it stops into our lives. So maybe it's a matter of that. Also, I think with the second house, you want to enjoy your senses more, get your senses in order, make sure you feel really good, and look at your values. You know, an object in motion likes to stay in motion. So we might have old values that we're still pursuing when really things are more important to you now. Maybe you're not like so focused on your career or so focused on a relationship or so focused on being really, really fit. Maybe that doesn't matter to you much anymore. So with this transit, you've got to be disciplined and strategic when it comes to your values, determining what they are, clarity, right? In terms of your values. And then also, you know, making sure that finances are buttoned up. Are there any outrageous expenses that are really stupid and don't really add much to you? To your life, and getting those in order. Or if you're looking to make more money, all right, well, what's the plan for that? What can you do that is going to make sure that you thrive financially? What does it look like? What do you have to do? Also, with that third house, there might be something that you might need to learn, third house, in order to make more money. So let's see, Capricorn, what wisdom you get for your new moon in Pisces. Ooh, Page of Swords. So the pages, they're the youngsters of the zodiac, and the swords, well, she's an intellectual. So think of it, you know, as an archetype, the Page of Swords might be like that really, really precocious student, right, in high school, right? Knows all the answers, the nerd. So really with the Page of Swords, what this is suggesting is that you allow yourself to take on the mind of a child or a youngster and be open to learning something new, right? Do things in a different way. This card also might be about messages that you're going to be getting, which makes a lot of sense with the new moon in the third house transit. I mean, really from this new moon in its 2 weeks until I think it's March 7th, you're going to have a lot of communications, right? So you want to, with Page of Swords, separate the wheat from the chaff. This is useless. This is not. This is practical. This is not practical. But you want to really keep in mind that you got to listen to things that are happening around you. There might be messages that are embedded in things that are hidden. Definitely check your spam folder and, you know, communicate well on a very, very practical level with the Page of Swords. So I hope that helps. Happy new moon, Capricorn. And Aquarius. So, Aquarius, you got a new beginning hitting your second house. Money, 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 money. Money transit for you. So you get a new beginning for you in terms of finances and value fulfillment. So that's nice. But you have to make it real by being strategic when it comes to your personality, your self-assertion, and your presentation. So you get Saturn in your sign, Aquarius, so you got to make things real and make things more defined when it comes to your personality and how you present yourself. And that might be key to more money. So, I mean, it could be a matter of like, you know, say you're a guy in getting out of college and you don't like wearing a tie, but you studied finance. Well, you got to get on a tie, right? You're going to be working in finance. So that might be an example of how you have to change your appearance in order for you to make more money. Also, in terms of like your presentation, like say you are looking to make more money, but you know, you need to sort of curb some of your idiosyncratic sides of your personality. Maybe you need to stop swearing, or maybe you need to present yourself as an expert in this or an expert in that. Whatever it is that you need to do, it really comes down to the way that you come across on a first impression basis. That's going to help you fulfill your values, and that's going to help you to make more money. So maybe this is a matter of you need some new threads. Maybe you need to overhaul your look or the way you present yourself. of the way that you act, right? So think about where your goals are, like what values you want to fulfill and what you want to be doing financially, what you want to make financially, and then determine like, okay, well, what would I look like doing that realistically? What is my strategy in terms of how I'm presenting myself in order for me to cash in? Because there's a lot of money available for you, Aquarius, this new moon. But again, it rests on your first house. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Maybe you need some new threads. Some new threads. Dress like $1 million to look to make $1 million. So let's see, Aquarius, what some insight you get, some tarot wisdom for your new moon. New moon, Aquarius. Insight for Aquarius, advice for Aquarius. The Emperor. So this is nice. The Emperor is a really great card to get when we're talking about a second house thing, a second house transit, because he's grounded, he's successful. If we notice over here, he actually has a globe in his hand. Where's that? Yeah, right here. So this is nice. This is essentially suggesting you need to get your life in complete working order. You need to be really, really rational and really, really stable. And with the Emperor card, it's really a matter of allowing yourself to be your own boss. You can work for somebody else, but you still want to give yourself rules. And that's really key with the Emperor card. Like, what rules can you put in place for you to achieve your financial goals? And what rules especially can you put into place when it comes to how you present yourself? Like, what is the strategy? What is the formula? But this is about you being a boss, right? You got to step up and be a boss. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you should make more money, or we want to pay you more money. That's probably not going to happen, right? So you got to determine what you want to make, what your worth is, etc. And you got to be a boss and make it happen. The Emperor also is very much about a rush of activity. Like when the Emperor comes up, you're going to be busy. So I would keep that in mind as well. Make sure that you are getting as much rest as possible, but there's probably a flurry of activity underway, which makes sense with your new moon in the second house. So yes, Marlo, I hope that made sense for you. You're going to be a boss. You're going to be a boss. And last but certainly not least, Pisces. This new moon is in your sign. So whatever you want, you really can wish for, right? Whatever you want. So you have a new beginning in your first house. It's all about your personality, your appearance. Allows you to go shopping, how you assert yourself in the world, right? And your personal goals. So, it's a new you. It's a new identity, right? A new version of you is emerging. But in order for you to make it real, you got to instill the right subconscious beliefs, because you have Saturn, which is asking you to be disciplined in your 12th house of the subconscious. So you can't accomplish something without first seeing yourself accomplishing it. So if you can't achieve something that you can't see yourself achieving. So you have to create the belief in your brain, in your subconscious, that you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve, and then you'll be able to achieve it. So with Saturn in your 12th, you got to lend a little bit more discipline to your subconscious mind. What are you focusing on? Whatever we focus on grows. Whatever we concentrate on grows. There's no other main rule. So what you want to do is make sure you're focusing on what you want more of, not what you want less of. That's why vision boards are so important. I would say, honestly, Pisces, with the 12th house Saturn right now during this new moon, get a vision board, right? Make sure you're spending time focusing on those things that you want to bring into your life, because now the subconscious is the name of your game, right? In order for you to have a new beginning in terms of your identity, in terms of your personality, which creates your personal reality, that's what personality is, you're going to need to work on the subconscious. You're going to fix those subconscious beliefs that are limiting, right? Also, with Saturn in your 12th, I would start a regular practice of meditation, of listening to affirmations or saying affirmations. Maybe it's some kind of spiritual practice that would be discipline, right? And that's going to help you, right? So keep that in mind, Pisces. Let's see what card you get for your wisdom tarot card for wisdom on your new moon in your sign, Pisces. Ooh, so you get the Strength card. This is good. So the Strength card, if we notice over here, the woman is gently prying open or closed, I've heard both, this lion's mouth. And she's not doing it with brute force. She's doing it with her heart. So the lion in the card represents all that is unruly within us, right? It's our inner beast. And we all have a beast, right? Some of our beasts within, it can roam willy-nilly. And it can be like crazy town, right? Pushing things around and being really boisterous and loud and throwing a fit when you don't get your way, right? That's like too much of a beast. Then you have the other side of things, right? The other side is when the beast within is suppressed and we're not even aware of our will. Our beast is like beaten down and we don't even have any kind of, willpower, and we have no desire to manifest what we want, right? We can suppress our will. So you want to find that middle ground, and that is what she is doing. So you want to focus on your beast, know what you want, and then guide it. Guiding your beast, not letting it roam willy-nilly and being a crazy person, and also not suppressing it, beating it down so you have no will, but it's about guiding it toward what it is that you want, right? With this card, it's a matter of doing whatever it is that you can to be gentle with yourself, but strong. So this is about gentle strength. I think when it comes to your subconscious, right, it might be a matter of having a series of conversations with yourself, right? Really loving yourself and caring for yourself, but also implementing those things, those changes, those spiritual activities, etc., that are going to help you. Also, I would say with the first house transit you're going through with this card, shine. Like allow yourself to express yourself, right? If you're uncomfortable with it, start slow. But this is a Leo card. It's definitely saying let it all hang out and definitely have fun. So happy new moon, Pisces, in your sign. So thank you, everyone, so much for joining me, especially live. We had quite a few people here, which I'm very, very happy about. Keep in mind, if you're going through some stuff, it does not have to be rocky road. You don't want rocky road. Don't have rocky road. You can check out my website, psychicsun.com, and we'll make your road less rocky. We have readings, coaching, classes are coming up this year. You'll love those. Gift certificates, parties if you're in Los Angeles, or you want to fly me out someplace else in the world. But yeah, don't make it a rocky road. Contact me if you need anything in regard to those things that I do. So have a wonderful new moon in Pisces. Make sure you have your mint chocolate, right? Have your mint chocolate while you achieve your goals, right? So I'll talk to you all soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.